Hey guys, this is 18-2. Welcome back to my Ultimate Ironman playthrough of Runescape free-to-play. In the last part, I did the Christmas event. So, this part, we're gonna actually make progress. So, the goals are, obviously, complete rune mysteries. 2. Complete imp catcher. Well, sorry, 1 complete imp catcher. 2 complete rune mysteries because this is on the way. 3rd, if you can tell from the burnt meat, I am finally going to do Witch's Potion. Which, incidentally, is one that it's impossible to get unique dialogue on because, well, you can't get a rat tail until you start the quest. Yeah. So, the route I'm going to be doing is... Oh, I'm 100 speed. Stamina, is do the beads, work on Rune Mystery Quest, and I'm gonna go to Varrock via Rimington and Falador. So first, climb up the staircase, and we talk to Wizard Trayborn, who incidentally, never mind. We'll come back to him later. Hello, young thingy, my what? Could have sworn it was Trayborn. Could have sworn it was Trayborn. I guess it's Wizard Mizgog. What's with the eyebrows there? That facial expression is not the give me a quest, say give me a quest. Give me a quest, please. There we go. That eyebrow made more sense. Army of hundreds of imps. They stole all sorts of things. But they stole 4 magical beads, some of which I obtained multiple copies of. These imps have now spread out all over the kingdom. Could you get my beads back for me? Well, this is a surprising turn of events. What? Well, I just so happen to have all of those beads on me. Are you saying you stole my beads all this time and I've been blaming these imps? No, not at all. I just found them throughout my travels and presumed somebody would need them at some point. Bah, fine. Give them here, and I'll check that they really are my beads before I give you your reward. You'll like it. It's an Amulet of Accuracy. Now, oh, that gives magical EXP too. I forgot about that. Anyway, it's time to say goodbye to the Amulet of Ghost Speak. Because the Amulet of Accuracy, you know, just gives straight bonuses to your attacks. All attacks, actually. So that's one you want to do as soon as possible. I was really, really unlucky, and it took me forever to get those beads. I hope I am making sure that I leave the dialogue on long enough to be read. Because I'm not going to do voices aside from unique dialogue. Alright. We have our quest. But first, we're going to take a detour to Port Sarim, and then to Remington. Now, I have to do Port Sarim first because I need the Eye of Newt, which I think in free to play is really only available. Is only available. From Port Sarim. I want to kill these guys so badly. But, oh yeah, incidentally, I should probably explain how I got my magic level so high. I cast Fire Strike at Hill Giants, mostly. Sorry, I tried to do it mostly there. Then I wound up deciding it was better to go with Minotaurs. And I'm going to wind up keep doing that. Because with the Fire Staff, and then 2 Air Runes, 1 Mind Rune, Fire Strike is basically completely free for me to use. Now that I have the level for it. and it's basically going to be my my go-to spell for the entire game. In fact, once I decide to start Corsair Curse, which really at my combat level, I should be able to do. Where's my combat level's here? Yeah, I'm at a combat level where I could reasonably do the Corsair Curse anytime I want. Actually, with this loadout. And that is another good one to at least start early. You don't have to complete it early, but by starting it early, you gain access to the Corsair Cove cave system, which has Ogress warriors and Ogress shamans, which are really the best free-to-play rune grinding target. Your reward is too good. Be back in a minute. That's not what he normally gives me. Darn. Normally I get... whatever. What could you... I'm not doing that voice. I am in search of a quest. Okay, I have to use this dialogue. This one's my favorite. Alright. Time to get the only material I wasn't able to. What? No, I just want the rat tail. Alright. Ready? Yeah, 325 magic EXP to me now isn't nearly as much as it would have been before. But, at least I finally remembered to do it. Yeah, a couple other quick and easy ones. I would recommend doing... Actually, no, I wouldn't recommend doing Pirate's Treasure yet, if I recall correctly. Did I do Goblin Diplomacy? No. Goblin Diplomacy I would not recommend doing early on, because the reward is, not the most useful. You get a gold bar, and I think something else, but most importantly the gold bar, which I can use now, but at the early crafting levels, which to be fair you should be using quests to speed through, gold bar's not that useful. I also wish that they had kept, that Jagex had kept the Lumbridge Draenor achievement diary free to play, because quite frankly the cabbage port was really, really useful. Let's see. Oh shoot, I forgot what I was thinking. Yes. So once I complete Rune Mysteries, I do have a couple options. One, I could mine the 197, well, 162. Wait, no. 72, I misspoke. I could mine the 172 rune essence needed to make enough air runes to get me to the point where I'll be able to get my earth runes, which is, for Ultimate Ironman you basically have to do earth runes. So I could do that, or I could keep trying to kill a bunch of Minotaurs hoping for the rune essence drops. And actually, honestly, for Ultimate Ironman, their copper and tin drops are also pretty good. In my opinion anyway. Because while bronze doesn't give much experience, per inventory slot, noted copper and tin are about as efficient inventory slot wise. Okay, so Aubrey. Yep, that was a few moments. Alright. Back to the Wizard's Tower. Alright, we're back at the Wizard's Tower. I like how he says, "You've been nothing but truthful," but doesn't actually take the research notes ahead of time. So I now have access to Runecrafting, which is highly impractical for Ultimate Ironman. The reason being, see if I remember correctly, you can get Rune Essence from here or here. This is a terribly inconvenient place to get it from. The water altar is around here. But what did I do? Water rune's there. The fire rune is right around here, which for everybody other than Ultimate Ironman is really close to a bank. For Ultimate Ironman, the closest way to get Rune Essence is there. So that's water, that's fire, earth. Oh man, no, oh wait, no. Shoot. I'm blanking. I think the body altar is up here. It's either that or the earth. The air temple is here. The air temple, ironically, is a terrible location. Because you have to go from the Wizard's Tower to Falador. Oh wait, I know it's not the Earth. Oh yeah. Duh. Body altar is here, which is normally the best free-to-play option. However, because it's literally on the other side of the free-to-play world from where you get Rune Essence, as an Ultimate Ironman, I can only really use Earth, which is around here. But first, I need, I hope I'm remembering this right, 197 total Rune Essence, which what I'm going to have to do via air, because I can only afford to have the talisman in the inventory slot as long as I'm working on runecrafting. So that's why I was prioritizing Minotaurs. So off camera, I'll be grinding Minotaurs for Rune Essence, and from there, I will go between here and I think I have access to the crafting guild if I can get a brown apron, which might just be worth the one inventory slot because it's much. I'll either do that or I'll decide the one inventory spot is fast enough to justify going to a Falador bank, unnoting as many essences as possible, going down here, turning them into air runes, going back to the bank, unnoting more essence, and so on and so forth. As an Ultimate Ironman, I would not recommend crafting your own runes. I would recommend buying them because money is significantly easier to get. Also, I mean, if you're ever really hard up, like, if you kill one of these guys, and watch, he's gonna drop one of the rarer drops instead of the one I want to show off. You kill one of these guys, and they will very often drop your basic runes. I suppose now's as good a time as any to go over runes for Ultimate Ironman before I end this off. Obviously, Air and Mind are going to be, in my opinion, your staple runes for combat, along with a Staff of Fire. And I know my opinion is very different from most. I'm a much more conservative player and don't want to do things that I view as sequence breaking, with the exception of Knight's Sword as an Ultimate Ironman, because you're just not training smithing that fast. So getting the free, technically it's only 15 casts of Fire Strike every half hour, or 30 casts of any other strike spell. Nature runes are for your transmutations. No, not Redbeard Frank. I believe I cross here. No. So, especially for Ultimate Ironman, that is how, that's how I intend, at least, to train my smithing, by mining up and superheating to get steel, mithril, so on. And wall runes are necessary for your teleports. And as I mentioned, I'm not actually completing Corsair's Curse right now. I could. In fact, strictly speaking, there's really no reason for me to be showing quests off, except that they're good markers. Without doing updates, going, oh, by the way, I completed almost all the quests. I'd get some sort of Schadenfreude enjoyment out of it. Alright, So, I now have access to Corsair Cove. Why is this important? Well, under normal circumstances, once you complete the Corsair's Curse, you have access to a bank. I won't. After beating Dragon Slayer, you will have the only place in free-to-play with maple trees. There are some good fishing spots, but the real draw of Corsair Cove you don't need to complete the quest in order to access. The real draw is right down here. The Ogress, not so much the shamans, but the Ogress warriors. You can outrange the shamans, but the warriors are much easier to safe spot. And they drop some good equipment. When I need to train my magic, I will be doing it against them. Bump my mic. Because they're probably the most reliable source of law runes. They're relatively easy to farm. And again, until I have a nice, stable income, which honestly, probably one of the most stable incomes is from killing Ogress warriors. Since actually I do have access to moss giants. No, that doesn't matter. No. Either way, since I intend to only really be using Fire Strike, because I am the kind of player who, like, if I had 1 million coins, I would still be using only the free Mind and Air runes. Anyway, so off camera, I will be doing more grinding. In this case, doing runecrafting and mining. I need to get my smithing up to 40. I'll keep training my combat stats. No, I won't, because I want to do Demon Slayer and Black Knight's Fortress before I get too strong. But I'll be doing more off-screen grinding. 95 more levels, and then I can go on my preferred servers. One last thing before I sign out. For Ultimate Ironman, I currently have access to the fastest methods of training mining, which is iron smelting. I do not have access to the fastest smithing because I don't have superheat items. I currently sort of have access to the fastest way to train fishing, which is river, which is fly fishing. Kill chickens, get feathers, use feathers, get fish, which is also incidentally a pretty darn quick way to level up cooking. If I choose to level up both at the same time, which I normally do. It's not as fast as any method otherwise. Like, it's faster once I get a high enough cooking level to just go into the cooking guild and cook. I currently have access to the fastest woodcutting and fire making experiences, which are both willow trees. I have access to the fastest crafting, which is tiaras in Alcard, which is also, incidentally, how I've been making my money. It's not as much money as holy symbols, but it's still a decent amount. Technically, I have access to the fastest method of training magic, which is splashing curse. But I don't feel like wasting my money on that. I'm not spending my money on it. So, I don't have access to it. Runecrafting, I went over. Prayer, there's no good method in Ultimate Iron Man, as far as I've been able to find. The big issue is, until I'm able to have a stable supply of big bones, which won't be until Dragon Slayer, simply because the Edgeville dungeon is always crowded, the Varrock sewers tend to be crowded, but Krandor tends to be less crowded. And that is it. But still, that is currently 1, 2, 3-ish, 4, 5, 6, 7 skills that I currently have access to the quickest free-to-play training methods to get them to 99. I will not be doing that immediately, though, as I have stated, my ultimate goals are get all the free-to-play skills up to 99, and complete all the quests, and earn enough money to buy a bond. Or not a bond, specifically buy 3 bonds. And then decide what to do from there. If you have any tips, I would appreciate them, because I do overlook things. Actually, I overlook a lot of things, and just general useful tips that don't involve crowded areas, because those I find to be unreliable, or trotting deep into the wilderness, because I feel that's kind of sequence breaking. At least until I get my ultimate canoe, or a high enough combat level. Anyway, this has been 18-2, and I will see you guys next time.